Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Seun, but if you are seeing me for the first time, hi, I am a makeup artist and a YouTuber filming from Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, so from the title you can tell that it's a story time, and I'm going to share with you my journey to discovering or being diagnosed with PCOS and how I've been living with PCOS. But before I go on, please make sure you subscribe, you like my video, share it to your friends, and comment. I am not a medical I'm not a medical doctor. I am not an OBGYN. I studied computer science if you don't know, so I have no idea what the true meaning or definition, or what I call it, the true explanation of what's going on with anyone who's diagnosed with PCOS. Okay, let me define it for you or explain what PCOS is. PCOS, okay, so P is for poly, and poly means plenty or multiple. Cyst means a sac filled with liquid, water, or any fluid. A sac filled with fluid. And then ovarian is from the word ovary. It's a part of the female reproductive system in human. I don't know if dogs have ovaries, I don't know, but in human. And then syndrome is a scale of disease. I'll be able to put a scale of how the disease is. That's what syndrome is. The symptoms can vary with human or patients living with that symptoms or living with that disease. That's what's a syndrome. Okay, so the major thing about polycystic ovarian syndrome, that's PCOS, or you can call it PCOS, is one common. Okay, so it started at I think 15, when usually I'll have my period for 3 days, but this time I was having it for more than 3 days, like 4 or 5 days. I wasn't worried because in junior school we had people coming to us and talk to us about period, menstrual cycle, and telling us how it can be irregular for the first few years when you start your period. So I wasn't worried. I just thought, okay, it's one of those things and I'm going to live it, alright. It wasn't like it was as serious as the first or second day. It was just very mild. I won't call it spotting, but it was more than spotting, but less than the regular period. So I wasn't worried. And I was living with it. Just I didn't tell anyone because I didn't think it was serious. It wouldn't come. It wasn't like I was having it for all the 12 months of the year. Sometimes say 5 times in a year, and so I just thought, okay, still trying to find balance. So I wasn't so super study, or I wasn't so conscious about it. So I think I was in a 200, fast forward to 200 level. I think it extended to 12 days. And this time I worried, but I was already in uni. So I went to the clinic, to the school clinic, and I met with the doctor, explained the whole thing to him. So he told me to either get a test done, I think the hormonal profile test, or a scan, which none of it was available in the school clinic. So I had to move to another town. Go to another town to get it done. So I just did the test. I think the test is hormonal profile test. I did it and I got the result back to the school clinic. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet the doctor that I met with the first time. It was a very rude nurse. So not a nurse, she's a doctor too. So when I met her, and then she was so quick to dismiss it, like, there's nothing wrong with your hormones. Why would you just waste money? Because I guess the test was quite expensive. I'm not guessing, it's quite expensive. So she just dismissed it, like, there's nothing wrong with your hormone. You probably are using something. You children of nowadays, you know how these judgmental doctors can be. But she was just all judgy, and if you're using anything, you better stop. Okay, because you're losing weight, because I was already losing weight at that time. I was looking pale, that's the word. I was looking pale. So she said, she was all, better stop using what you're using. You're already looking pale before you kill yourself. All these girls that when you get to school, you start doing all things, yada like that. So I just went back because I was really angry, and I didn't know what to do at that time. So I just spoke to my daddy, like she said, it's not my hormone. So I was still dealing with it. I was living fine, good. I wasn't living fine, but then I was able to cope with it. I wasn't having the usual or the regular symptoms people we have, obviously, because one of the symptoms are obesity, acne skin, or they call it not acne skin, they call it cystic acne. Did I get it right? Cystic acne, yes, from the word cyst. And it's kind of the stubborn pimple you have that is, you can't just poke. So I wasn't having any of that. Facial hair, I didn't have facial hair. It was just my mood. My mood was really crazy. My mood swings were really all over the place. And bloating and anxiety. I wasn't eating. I would just feel so anxious when I see food. So I'll just skip. And I wasn't bothered at first until, you know, you go for a break and everybody will come back looking fresh and you know, they've added weight and they're looking fresh, they're looking clean. And I get back and I'm looking all funny and everybody's going, why are you so lean? You're so lean. I mean, I can't go on telling everybody that, oh, this is what I'm dealing with, so that's what I mean. I'll just smile and laugh it off like, thank you. I mean, it wasn't just easy telling people that I'd be bleeding for 12 days. I didn't know that what was going on with me was that popular, because these days I've actually seen people come on YouTube to talk about it, but then I didn't even know what was wrong with me, so there's no way I would explain to people without getting judged or saying, oh, you probably did something, you probably went somewhere, I mean, abuse you, stupid, very stupid things like that. So when people pass comments like, oh, you've lost weight, you are looking bony, call me all sort of names, I would just, you know, laugh and brush it past, because I cannot explain to you what's going on. Don't stress me. If all you're going to see is going to make it a bad night, just say it and leave me. I was still bothered, you know, something in the back of my head was still saying that something is wrong. I was checking Google at that time, and you know how Google results can be. It was quite too much for me, if not. It was too much for me to understand. I was seeing endometriosis, I was seeing ovarian cancer, name it cervical cancer, like really weird names, and I'll check the symptoms, and some of it I have and some I don't. So I was just in between. I would get bothered, but I just don't want to talk about it. Do you understand? And I didn't want to go to another hospital and get judged again. 300 level, I went for IT. I live in Lagos, but I did my IT in Ibadan with my friend. So I think it was then that I had my period for 3 weeks, like stretch 3 weeks. So I came home and I spoke to my mommy this time, like, this thing is still not stopping. What, like, is there anything I need to do, or anywhere I need to go, anything, just let me know right now. And she spoke to a matron, because I already told her what I faced in school, and I just don't want to go to anyone who is not qualified. Do you understand? So she spoke to a matron, and the matron was like the same Nigerian doctors, average doctor. She was saying things like, ask her what she did, ask her where she went, hope she has not done anything bad, hope she has not done this and all of that. Like, I was starting to feel the same way I felt the last time I went to see a doctor. But so after my mommy ended the call, we called another person. I think my cousin, who is a pharmacist, or another friend, I can't really remember, and she told me to go on contraceptive, the 30 days pill type of contraceptives, and I used it for the first 3 days and it stopped, and I was really happy, like, finally I've gotten something that I can use to, you know, stop this old bleeding, excessive bleeding. At that time I thought it was a cure, okay? I thought using it that 1 month would cure everything and I'll be fine. So right after the whole process, and I said that I was really gone, I went back to Ibadan to continue my IT. And for the next month, it came again like that, and it was already exceeding it exceeded 3 days, and I was still, okay, probably I'm just getting used to adjusting. I was hoping it would adjust. 7 days, I was starting to get worried. So I think 14th day, I called my mom again that this thing is not working. What do I need to do? And she told me to still go on the pill. So I got the pill again because I didn't even take the pill to Ibadan with me. I just thought that's the end. So I got the pill again in Ibadan, and I was using it. I used it for 5 days and it stopped. And for another 3 days, I was okay. Nothing was coming, and it came again. That's when I knew that it's not the cure. This thing is not curing. It's just probably just blocking it or pushing it somewhere. Or like, this is not the cure. Okay. Appointment date, I went back to the doctor. I went straight to the gynecologist, and it was so interesting because I was sitting with pregnant women, and it was just over. I was hearing different stories, so it made me kind of relax because I already made up my mind that this is to do for 21 days, fine, I'll do it. And you know the amazing part is once I bleed for out as long as it wants to take, say 14 days, I'm going to see my period the next month. It comes like the exact date I'm expected to see my period, I'm going to see. Trust me, it doesn't miss. So that's one funny thing, because I would hear people who, when I was checking YouTube, the only thing they say is they didn't see their period, they didn't get their period. So immediately I cancelled PCOS out of the game. Like, this is not what we're not dealing with the same thing here. Yeah, I get my period every time of the month, steady. I was living with it like that until 400 level again, and I was at home. It was during break, I guess, and I had panic attack, and my parents were so scared. Everyone was so scared. I didn't even know it was panic attack at that time. I guess it was just too much anxiety from the whole syndrome thing. I wasn't eating, so I lost weight again. So many things, Sha. So the next morning, my daddy told me to go to General Hospital. We went in Lagos. Complained to the doctor. I told the doctor the whole thing wrong with me, both my period and the panic attack. Yes, well, as I explained to the doctor, this has been going on for over 4 years. Panic attack, I don't know what's happening, but I've been feeling so restless lately. So I feel like that's the only thing I can attribute to the attack or the chest. It was really tight chest pain. So that's the only thing I can attribute to it. What again? I was giving him more of my menstrual cycle problem than the panic attack, because I just don't understand what was going on there. I couldn't give a detailed explanation to the symptoms I was going through. Hoping that I found a doctor to cure me, someone who's going to understand me. This is a general hospital, it's a government hospital, they have all the facilities you need, right? Lo and behold, my doctor got a receipt where you can write the kind of test you should do. And so first thing, he told me to get an ECG. ECG is for heartbeat and everything. Okay, that's it, okay. The next one was a pelvic scan. Okay. And then he now wrote on that the pelvic scan is for ectopic pregnancy. And in my head, I was like, sir, this has been going on for 4 years, okay? So if there's anything, you can't be pregnant. I can't be pregnant for 4 years. Like, I was close to saying, sir, use your sense now. But I just took it and I left. Like, again, I didn't want to go back because I was just done with meeting quack or fake or unprofessional doctors. Even this is a general hospital, I was expecting that I would get a very good and detailed explanation of what's going on. So I spoke to my dad, like, he's just writing. I don't understand what he's writing. Like, I'm saying a different thing and he's giving me a different test to go and do. So my dad just encouraged me, just get the test done, get everything done, and at least you know that in case from the results they can get, they can be able to branch to where the problem is. So I got all the tests done. I did my blood test, I did ECG, I did pelvic scan, and one more. I did about 4 tests. So, and at this time it was during pandemic, so I had to wait for another, I think, 2 months to go back for my appointment. So I went back. That was when I did my pelvic scan test. It was that day after 2 months. So after I did it, I got the test immediately. Glory be to God. So after I got the test results, I now googled all of the sentences the doctor wrote, like everything. Like, if you are going to tell me any rubbish again, I will be here ready to face you, because I'm done with you people's diagnostics. So after I had googled all of the sentences, I've written everything in my Google. I took a picture. I didn't send it to anybody, but I just took a picture, and it was then that I saw PCOS, and then it describes that there's cyst in the ovary, but it's very small. So when it got to the test, the pelvic test, the doctor now told me to go and get another appointment with a gynecologist. I mean, hallelujah, right? It was my turn, and I entered the hospital. I entered the consulting room, and to my surprise, I met another maid doctor. Like, the whole universe was shy against me. So I got into the consultation room, and she was going through my file. Obviously, my file has been sent to her. And she opened, and then she was just writing, like scribbling. She didn't even ask me for anything, like, how do you feel? Do you have stomach or tummy ache here and there and there and there? And nothing. She was just, so she gave me a prescription. Like, this is how you use this. You have to take this to the pharmacy, else they won't sell it to you. I'm meeting a gynecologist, okay? So I wanted to ask, explain to me what's going on. But with the way she was acting, I wanted a direct answer, yes or no or something. So I asked, is this going to cure it? Like, is this going to stop the whole period abnormality? Another thing she said, cure it. Wait, I'm coming. Let me. So she said, cure it. Do you know what you have? PCOS. PCOS. I'm lucky you are getting your period. I would say she's close to 50, 60 sharp. You are lucky you are getting your period. Some people, 11 months, they will not get that. 11 months. I have a friend. 10 years now, she has not given birth because she has PCOS. And you are here getting your period, you are complaining that you want a cure. Do you know the gravity of what you have? You are not grateful. I mean, at this point, I was already crying that. It's just one question I asked you now. Why are you telling me I can't give birth again? What's your problem? So another doctor entered, and it was like, I need to see you. Are you talking to someone? And the lady that was attending to me told him to wait in the consultation room. She said, I drew me means wait, I'll soon be done with that. So while the doctor was waiting, she was still firing me just because I asked to take a cure. Like, I'm being ungrateful or something. She told the doctor to wait while she was talking to me. Like, wait. And then she faced me back, and then she put on the attitude again, like, ha, you want a cure for PCOS? I've been paying me, boy. Ha. You know, like, I had already gone through 3 to 4 doctors calling me names, talking to me, judging me because I don't know what's wrong with me. I needed a cure, and I just want to understand what's going on with my body better, because at this point it was like my whole body was failing me. Like, things I'm supposed to do normally, you're not doing it. Starting to question myself. So I just wanted answers. The best you can do is be nice to me, talk to me, explain these things to me, so I don't go on Google again and I start taking drugs, or I start thinking I have cervical cancer, I have a ovarian cancer, because that's the only thing that keeps ringing in my head. You get? So at this point I was in tears already, because I was just done. This was where I hoped to get an answer, and I was really in tears. And at this point I'd given up, like, just give me the receipts, I want to go home. It was during COVID. Did I say that? It was during COVID, so I would understand that you're supposed to be with your family, it's pandemic, but you're at work. Well, guess what? You're at work already. It's only better if anything you want to do, you're here already, you're doing well, just do it. So the doctor came in, and the doctor now told her that their superior was calling them. So she left, and the doctor sat me down, told me, like, just calm down, and then he explained everything to me. Like, there are some diseases that do not have a cure. Like, usually they don't know the source of what's happening. That's the kind of disease that would not have a cure. They don't know how it's happening, because it can't be explained why you're having cysts in your ovaries. It can't be explained from doctors that I've met later on. It can't be explained. but you can only maintain the symptoms because it's syndrome. So if you have diabetes, yes, diabetes is part of the symptoms. So if you have diabetes, you can get insulin. If you're having facial hair, treat it. If you're having anxiety or panic attacks like that, treat it. That's the only thing they can do. It can help you maintain your symptoms and make sure that you're okay. If you don't even look like you have PCOS, girl, your face is fresh, you're skinny, and so many people living with PCOS will diet. You want to trade places with you, and I guess those things made me calm like 20% because the only thing in my head was like, normal people still have issues conceiving, and then you're telling me now that because I have PCOS it's going to be an issue. Like, you're not even telling me in a very calm way. You're telling me like it was my fault that I had this PCOS. It was something I did. See, like all my life or all the times I've gone to doctor for this issue, it is the same thing they have kept saying. Like they've always been acting like it was my fault that this thing has happened. And I'll just say that I'm so unlucky, and I hope no one or anyone who's confused or doesn't even know it's PCOS have to go through all of that just to get diagnosed and to get a proper definition of what's going on with them. I pray that none of them have to go through what I went through. Oh, did I forget? They told me to go on diet. It was at that point I knew that mess up. And you have to cut your carbs. Any problem? That will take a bath. Rice, yum. Please don't look in my way. I'll leave it. Thanks. So diet was off it. So if you're going to recommend diet to me, please hold it. I don't want diet. I don't want to go on diet. Okay. So far, I didn't go on diet. I'm not going to lie, but I did other things to just stay fit. I cut out all the carbonated drinks that I take for about 5 months, and then I was, drinking Coke here and there, Coke, Fanta, all of those carbonated drinks, and I stopped alcoholic drinks. I stopped for a while too, and caffeinated drinks. I stopped coffee. What else did I do? Okay, for the appetite, I was using appetite stimulants. I still have anxiety, but I am able to control it when I want to eat. I just try to take small portions and keep eating. I snack in between the day, and it helps me a bit. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. That's my journey to being diagnosed with PCOS. It was a very long and horrible journey. I'm not going to lie, because in all those years I was confused and I didn't know what to do. I was always confused, I was angry, I was scared, but regardless, I made sure that I was still doing life. I was still living life and still doing things that I needed to do, or things that needed to be done. And in between, I had ulcer too, so you can imagine all the things that were going on with me. Go through, I just take it one day at a time. It's not like I'm always happy now. I still have days that I feel so tired, angry, and so confused, but I just try to maximize my time that I'm happy. I make sure I do things. I make sure I'm okay. Like, just stay active and stay distracted. I don't just sit down and think about it, even though sometimes I still think about it. But yeah, so this is the journey. Okay, so this is the journey. This is how I found out I was living with PCOS, and so far, sometimes they're good, some months they're good, some months they're really good. But I mean, we still through everything. There are some months that I feel like, it looks like this thing's gone, and there are some months that I be like, this is a new level. But regardless, I'm living with it. I'm learning to live with it, and so far I've been really good. But that's my story. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed it, Sha. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment what you think about this video, your opinions. They are really welcome, but don't come for me, okay? Because I already put a disclaimer that I'm not a doctor or an OBGYN, Okay, so that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.